So I was having a conversation the other day with a neighbor, and I feel like it was also symbolism for a lot of things. And I always wonder if the other person is well aware of the symbolism as well or not. We were talking about, he's lived in the area. He knows everybody in the area. He knows everything about the area. It's like the idea of he's very much a local, right? Like he is a good source to go to ask pretty much anything. And, I've always been lucky with my neighbors. Do you know my whole life I've always been lucky with my neighbors? Isn't that interesting? I've always had great neighbors. And anyway, so they've reminded me of two exceptions. Okay. But anyway, I think I've shared this with you. There were snakes along the path that I go to the beach. And I kept meaning to ask him about it. And I finally did the other day. And he's like, oh, yeah. They're no worry or whatever. And we got into a whole conversation about it. And then he told me some rhyme so I could remember. And he said it so quickly that I couldn't process it. And so I shook my head and I was like, wait a minute. And I said, well, there was no red anywhere. And he's like, okay, well then it's okay. If there's never any red, then don't worry about it. And I was telling him about another bigger snake, and we were going on, and he finally said, well, they're good. It's good to have the snakes around, also because they eat the rats. And I said, what? He said, oh yeah, there's rats all over the beach. And I said, what? Never have I once seen a rat. And I thought, you know what, that's enough. I didn't know about the snakes. Now you're telling me the snakes and rats. I told you I ran into a fox the other day. The fox is so fucking cute and had babies. They're so cute. I love them so much. They're so cute. Red fox. But it's like now when I walk that path, it's like I always have to be aware of the snakes. I'm not afraid to walk it. I still walk it, and I know I'm fine, but it's still and I was like, oh, is this symbolism? I need to be aware. Just keep your eyes peeled. It's fine. There's always snakes and rats about, but, the snakes eat the rats, and then does the fox eat the snake? It's like the circle of life goes on here too. And I'm also in an area where there's alligators where, honestly, I get so excited. I don't know why I get excited for alligators. I have my whole life. They excite me and delight me, and it's terrible, but I have crocodile handbags and clutches, and I love them. I love them, which I know can sound funny, if you love them, why'd you? Okay, so let's not get into all that, but but I'm not looking to, I'm fascinated by them. I think that's the biggest part. And some of them call them puppies, water puppies. And because if you look at them that way, they are kind of cute like that. There was a big race where people had to go in the water, and not the ocean, not the beach, but one of the rivers. And a few days before, there was a video on Instagram showing there was an alligator, and he did the cutest little puppy alligator, just relaxed and floating in the water, and in the area where all the swimmers were going to go. And people were making jokes in the comment oh, he heard about the race going on. He's just getting here early for a taste. But they actually don't care for human meat, right? They prefer, stuff in the ocean and small animals and whatnot. And but of course they can mistake, and they have good instincts. That's why they're dinosaurs. They've lasted forever. And yet, I'm sorry, they're showing me so much right here, and I'm not sure what the point is, but I'm still rambling. I am always excited to see them, and I've been excited to go maybe kayaking or canoeing in one of the areas where they would be. I've gone hiking around the areas they would be, and I haven't seen them yet. but I would like to get in the water, but not in the water with them, right? And not looking to encroach upon their space. It's like, I think they're kind of like hippos. I don't know enough about them. I really don't. I'm more fascinated and love them, but I haven't learned enough about them yet. But I think, like, hippos, like if you come in their territory or they feel like you are, they'll bulldoze you and kill you. Like, they're horrific. They're scared of nothing. And I think the alligators are the same way. Like, they'll leave you be. They don't give a fuck about you either. But if you get in their space, if you get in their territory, if you make them feel threatened in any way because you're encroaching, they have no problem taking you out, right? Like, they're scared of no one and nothing, and they're stronger than everyone and everything, right? Like, this idea. And I don't know why they're having me share all this. It's kind of like, what is it? It's like, is it all symbolic, right? Like, there's always somebody bigger and better. There's always somebody willing to, but everybody's also at peace. Like, in other words, everybody's living harmoniously, right? Like, everybody's happy living harmoniously. The only time that there's a problem, maybe it's showing me that, like the example of everybody can live at peace easily. But it's only when sorry, they're showing too much too quick. I missed what they were saying because I was trying to explain it. Can you go back to where you were showing the idea of, like, the natural ecosystem? Like, we can learn from it by mimicking nature and watching. Like, it's a perfect balance. And it's like, you only get eaten alive when somebody's really hungry and hunting. But there's always somebody bigger and badder to protect you if needed. Or as long as you mind your business. Like, don't go in areas you shouldn't go. Don't go in territory that isn't yours. This idea, we're saying this idea, but I'm like having a debate with them, and also in my head, in the fact that yes and no, us humans have really invaded so many and paid the price of it. Okay, I think that's what they're showing. It's like, paid the price of it. So it's like, we have overthrown so many habitats for our own greed and pleasure when there's plenty of area not to. There's no need for all that. And yet we have done that, but ultimately at our own detriment, right? Because again, we actually need it, that ecosystem or those irritants, right? Like, things that we would maybe be irritated by was actually, they're just showing an example of, like, bats eat mosquitoes, right? So it's actually a good idea to have a bat house if you live in a area with a lot of mosquitoes, because the bats will come out at night and eat all the mosquitoes. And so if you're scared of the bats or don't want the bats around, well, who you hurting? I mean, yeah, you're hurting the bat by, pushing them out of your area, but then you're ultimately hurting yourself, because aren't you more irritated by all the mosquitoes that carry illnesses and can inject them into you, right? And then, all the other irritants of mosquitoes, right? So it's like the perfect ecosystem if we allow everything its freedom, its space, its peace, its place. It really is only us humans with our big old thinkers. And yet we think that is more evolved, right? We think it's more evolved that we're able to utilize our tool, but many of us don't utilize our tool, right? Our tool's utilizing us. And look at all the animal life, right? It's in perfect balance and harmony when left to its own devices. It's only when we interfere that the problems form. It's like, a lot of times people want to act like they're the savior if there's an animal that's sick or dying, but there's usually a reason for it. And it's like they naturally will die out then, right? Like, but of course, our bleeding hearts, we get stuck in our head and want to reason and rationalize and justify our behaviors and our actions. Okay, I do feel like I'm babbling here, but they keep showing more and more. Is there a point that you want me to get out, or just having me point out the fact that humans are dumb? What are you telling me? What are you that it's like they're showing sticky fingers. It's like we stick our hands in places they don't belong. We get involved in things that don't involve us. It's like we can't mind our own business. God, it's something they're trying to get me to see or say. We can't mind our own business. We can't be happy. We can't seem to be happy with what we have or something. We are a bunch of cats, aren't we? It's because we're curious. We're curious cats. And we want to, it's like we want to love and hug and squeeze and kiss everything. Even, like, it's like like they're showing me wanting to even like hug and squeeze and kiss an alligator. But it's like, that probably wouldn't be very wise, right? Like, or I love lions and tigers and bears. Like, I love them all. I want to hug and squeeze and kiss them all. And it's like, okay, well, let's respect them. Let's respect their power, their space, their whatever. And this time around, you are visible. You can't run it up to them and do that. And I don't know what their point is here. Is it obvious? Do I just not hear what you're trying to tell me? Am I? Because I feel like they're telling me, they're circling their hands. I keep cycling, keep circling, keep going through, keep it going, something. I don't know. I really feel like I'm playing charades this morning. I'm not understanding what they're putting down. It's like maybe I've said what they've wanted me to say. I can't seem to nail it on the head. They're all kind of laughing at me and shaking their head. Like, I don't know if I don't know. Well, am I done? Is there? It's something about we can all be happy if we can all be happy. Well, yeah. But it's the circle of life. Or maybe that's what they're just saying. It's just the reality of life. And we are curious cats. And it's going to keep going the way it's going, and it's going perfectly fine. Because because the universe is in charge, and so is Mother Nature, in that it'll all happen the way it's supposed to. And when the shakeups need to happen, they'll happen too. It all balances out. Just because of what? Because of the flow. The way the game's set up. It's a flawless flow. Even when we interject, right? Even when humans interfere and fuck up the natural cycles and rhythm, the natural cycles and rhythm are stronger than the human fuck up, the human error. And so it is almost showing like it might take longer for, it's like nature to strangle out. This is what they're showing, like to strangle out the human if it's like a bad seed, but it will balance out. It's something like that. I don't know what they're showing, a human that has interfered or interjected with the flow and the circle of life, but it's like Mother Nature and the universe sees the human just like it sees any other animal, plant, any other living thing. And if that living thing, in this case a human, it's like causing more harm than good or something like that, it sometimes can take longer to be snuffed out. I think that because they're showing plants and stuff growing up over and around it, but it takes a long time for that stuff to grow. But it will win. It will outwin the human. I don't know what the point of this message is. I think maybe it's just balance. Because I feel like I started off because I was trying to tell you a story about symbolism, but they took it a whole nother place. Okay. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.